Today, we're not dealing in maybes or hypotheticals. We're cutting through the noise, dissecting the facts, and uncovering the undeniable truth about XRP and its future. Because despite what you might be hearing, despite the lingering shadows of the past, it is far from over. In fact, what's coming for XRP could be the most significant chapter yet. But to understand where we're going, we need to confront a fundamental question that's likely been nagging at you. What is Ripple truly building beyond just cross-border payments? And why does it matter more now than ever before? The answer will redefine your understanding of XRP's potential. In the next 15 minutes, we're going to equip you with the critical knowledge you need to navigate the current landscape and see the real opportunities surrounding XRP. We will 1. Unpack Ripple's expanding ecosystem and the problems they are uniquely positioned to solve. 2. Provide a clear and concise update on the regulatory front and what it truly means for XRP's future. 3. Identify the key catalysts on the horizon that could trigger significant movement and adoption. And 4. Address the lingering doubts and misinformation head-on, empowering you with facts, not fear. This isn't about blind faith, it's about understanding the fundamental value proposition and the strategic moves being made. This is the what you need to know now about XRP, and it could be the difference between missing out on a potentially massive opportunity and positioning yourself for long-term success. But before we dive into the specifics, let's address the elephant in the room. You've likely seen the XRP price prediction videos, the endless charts and technical analysis. But are these predictions truly capturing the underlying potential, or are they missing the forest for the trees? When most people think of XRP and Ripple, their minds immediately go to cross-border payments. And yes, that was the initial core focus, making international money transfers faster, cheaper, and more transparent than the outdated SWIFT system. Think of SWIFT as sending a letter by snail mail across continents, while Ripple is like sending an instant digital message. But what if I told you that the payment use case, while significant, is only a fraction of what Ripple is building? What if their ambitions extend far beyond simply moving money from point A to point B? What if they are laying the groundwork for a fundamental shift in how value of all kinds is exchanged globally? The question isn't just how fast can XRP move money. It's what else can this technology enable? What other industries are ripe for disruption by a fast, low-cost, and secure digital ledger? And why are some of the biggest players in the financial world quietly taking notice? Let's break it down. Ripple's on-demand liquidity, ODL, is already a game-changer. It allows businesses to send and receive money internationally without the need for pre-funded accounts in destination currencies. Think of it like this. Instead of having to park a bunch of US dollars in a bank account in Mexico just in case you need to make payments, ODL lets you instantly convert USD to XRP, send the XRP, and have it converted to Mexican pesos on the other end, all within seconds. This frees up billions in previously trapped capital. But the Ripple ecosystem is expanding rapidly. They are not just focused on banks. They are targeting businesses of all sizes with solutions for everything from treasury management to enabling new cross-border commerce opportunities. Their recent acquisitions and partnerships are a clear indication of this broader vision. The key takeaway here is that the fundamental utility of XRP, facilitated by Ripple's technology, is growing. It's not just a theoretical concept, it's being actively used by businesses around the world to solve real-world problems. But here's where things get even more interesting, and potentially more lucrative for XRP holders. What happens when this underlying utility starts to intersect with another massive trend in the crypto space? We've talked about moving money efficiently. But what about moving assets efficiently? What about taking traditionally illiquid assets, things like real estate, fine art, even company shares, and turning them into easily tradable digital tokens? This is the trillion-dollar market of tokenization, and it's quietly gaining momentum. But what does this have to do with XRP? Is Ripple even involved in this burgeoning sector? The answer might surprise you, and it hints at a future for XRP far beyond just payments. What role could XRP potentially play in this massive shift towards digital assets? And why are some experts whispering about Ripple becoming a major player in this space? Pay close attention here. While Ripple's core business has been payments, their underlying technology, the XRP ledger, is inherently capable of handling more than just currency transfers. Its speed, low cost, and built-in decentralized exchange (DEX) make it a powerful infrastructure for the issuance and trading of tokenized assets. Think of the XRP ledger as a highly efficient digital highway. Right now, It's primarily moving money. But it has multiple lanes and the capacity to carry many different types of digital vehicles, including tokenized stocks, bonds, and even real estate. Ripple has been strategically positioning itself in this space. While they might not be shouting from the rooftops yet, keep an eye on their partnerships and the evolution of the XRP ledger. The groundwork is being laid for XRP to potentially become a key settlement layer for the tokenized economy. This could unlock an entirely new level of demand and utility for the XRP token. But with all this potential, the shadow of regulation still looms large for XRP. What's the latest on that front, and is the uncertainty finally starting to lift? Let's face it, the regulatory landscape has been a major cloud hanging over XRP for years. The lawsuit with the SEC has created uncertainty and undoubtedly held back broader adoption in the United States. You've seen the conflicting opinions, the legal jargon, and the frustration within the XRP community. But what is the real state of play right now? Are we finally seeing a path towards clearer regulatory guidelines for XRP? And what could a definitive resolution mean for its future price potential and institutional adoption? Is the regulatory hurdle finally being overcome, or are there more twists and turns ahead? While the legal saga might not be entirely over, it's crucial to understand the significant progress that has been made. The rulings we've seen so far have provided a level of clarity that was previously absent, particularly regarding XRP's status as a non-security in certain contexts. Think of it like navigating a foggy road. The fog hasn't completely lifted, but we've definitely seen some clear patches, giving us a much better view of the road ahead. This increasing regulatory clarity is vital for institutional adoption. Major financial players are hesitant to fully embrace a digital asset with significant legal uncertainty. As that uncertainty diminishes, the path becomes clearer for them to integrate XRP and Ripple's technology into their infrastructure. This could lead to the very floodgates of adoption that many in the XRP community have been waiting for. But regulation is just one piece of the puzzle. What other factors could act as major catalysts for XRP in the near future? Beyond the courtroom drama, there are other significant catalysts on the horizon that could propel XRP forward. These are developments within the Ripple ecosystem and the broader financial landscape that could trigger increased demand and adoption. What are these potential game changers? Are there specific partnerships, technological advancements, or market shifts that you need to be watching closely? And could any of these catalysts lead to the XRP price prediction numbers that many have dreamed of? Let's focus on what's actionable. Keep a close eye on Ripple's ongoing partnerships with financial institutions globally. Every new bank or payment provider that integrates ODL expands the real-world use case for XRP. Think of each new partnership as adding another lane to that digital highway, increasing the flow of traffic, transactions, and the need for fuel XRP. Also, pay attention to any announcements regarding the expansion of Ripple's product suite beyond just payments. Their foray into tokenization solutions, as we discussed earlier, could be a major growth area. Any significant moves in this direction would signal a broader utility for the XRP ledger and its native asset. Furthermore, developments in the broader crypto space, such as increased regulatory clarity for digital assets in general, could have a positive ripple effect, XRP Ripple, pun intended, on XRP adoption. But even with positive developments, market sentiment and the broader crypto environment play a significant role in XRP's price action. How are those factors shaping up, and what should you be aware of? The price of XRP, like most cryptocurrencies, is influenced by a complex interplay of factors, including overall market sentiment, the performance of Bitcoin, and broader macroeconomic trends. You've likely seen XRP move in tandem with the wider market at times, while at other times, it seems to march to the beat of its own drum. So, what is the current state of the market's perception of XRP? Are we seeing a shift in sentiment? And what external forces could either hinder or accelerate its growth in the coming months? Are the market winds finally starting to blow in XRP's favor? While predicting market sentiment is never an exact science, we can look at various indicators. The XRP community remains incredibly strong and vocal, which is a significant factor. However, the broader market's risk appetite and overall sentiment towards altcoins will inevitably play a role. Think of the broader market as the tide. A rising tide lifts all boats, including XRP. Favorable macroeconomic conditions and positive sentiment towards crypto, in general, can create a more conducive environment for XRP to thrive. Conversely, negative market events or increased fear and uncertainty can put downward pressure on all digital assets. It's crucial to stay informed about these broader trends, while maintaining focus on XRP-specific fundamentals and developments. But looking beyond the immediate market fluctuations, what is the ultimate long-term vision for XRP and its role in the future of finance? Imagine a world where financial transactions are instant, frictionless, and accessible to everyone everywhere, where borders are no longer barriers to the flow of value. This has long been the stated vision of Ripple and the underlying promise of XRP. But is this grand vision still achievable? What steps are being taken to make it a reality? And could XRP truly become a fundamental building block of this future financial landscape, potentially even rivaling or complementing traditional systems? Ripple isn't just aiming for a quick price pump, they are playing the long game. Their strategic partnerships with central banks to explore CBDCs and their focus on providing enterprise-grade solutions demonstrate a commitment to building sustainable, real-world utility for their technology and for XRP. Think of Ripple as a company building the infrastructure for the future of global finance. They are not just creating a cryptocurrency, they are building tools and partnerships that could fundamentally change how institutions interact with digital assets. Their emphasis on regulatory compliance, even amidst the ongoing legal battle in the US, signals a desire to work within established frameworks and gain the trust of traditional financial players. This long-term strategic approach is what gives credibility to the vision of XRP as a key component of a more efficient and interconnected global financial system. So, is it over for XRP? Absolutely not. Despite the challenges, despite the FUD, the underlying technology, the expanding utility, and the strategic partnerships paint a clear picture. XRP is a resilient digital asset with significant long-term potential. The regulatory landscape is gradually becoming clearer. The utility of the XRP ledger is expanding beyond just payments, with promising inroads into tokenization. And the potential for institutional adoption, as regulatory hurdles ease, remains massive. The XRP price prediction is ultimately secondary to the fundamental value and the real-world problems that Ripple and XRP are solving. The billions are waiting on the sidelines, ready to flow in as regulatory clarity increases and institutional adoption accelerates. Don't let short-term price fluctuations shake your conviction in the long-term vision. The story of XRP is far from over. In many ways, the most exciting chapters are yet to be written. The key is to stay informed, understand the fundamentals, and avoid making emotional decisions based on fear or hype. XRP Ripple's journey has been a marathon, not a sprint, and the finish line could be closer than many realize. You now have a deeper understanding of what you need to know now about XRP. You're equipped with the knowledge to see beyond the headlines and recognize the true potential that still exists. This isn't just about a cryptocurrency, it's about a technology that could reshape global finance. If you found this video insightful and empowering, please hit that like button. Subscribe for more in-depth analysis and updates on the crypto market.